Tammy Bruce is the president of Independent Women's Voice, and she joins us tonight. So, Tammy, that is, I don't think anyone has explored this basic tension. You have two ideas on a collision course with each other. Open borders, welfare state. You can have one, you can have the other. You cannot have them both.
Right. And we've already seen, and when we think about what the Democrats are planning to do, we've seen this in California with Governor Gavin Newsom announcing that they already had Obamacare open for illegal aliens. And then he announced that it would apply to everyone in the state, regardless of whether you were there legally or not. And then, of course, the mayor of New York doing the same thing, making the same proposal. That one would stretch out over and apply effectively to 2021 and apply to everyone, of course, conveniently just after the 2020 election. So they're campaigning on this. It's a big campaign dynamic, but it's California and New York saying exactly the same thing, that there should be universal health care and it should apply to whoever is in our borders. Now, that is impossible. And you can look at, we can use historically, not just Venezuela, but you can look at even a controlled socialist framework like this destroys civilizations. It destroys cultures. It destroys countries. And it does so because it's unsustainable. And yet the left has nothing else to offer. So what they do is they promise free things. They print up more money. You've got, like in Venezuela, I think the inflation rate at this point is 80,000%, and it's unsustainable. So when Kamala Harris says this, and she said it in that clip that it's a human right. Now, when you're saying that, this then presumes that that the supply of it, the presenting of health care, if it's a human right, then it means if you choose to not give people that health care as a doctor, right, as an individual, you then are violating those people's human rights. So it comes down into quite a totalitarian framework about what the government is going to tell people to do and what it says they deserve.
Well, so if you're a Democratic candidate, why wouldn't you just say, I want to be as generous as we can with our people, with American citizens. They come first. And I've got all kinds of pie in the sky, crazy socialist ideas, but I'm going to focus them just on Americans. Why wouldn't they do that?
Well, because part of it, of course, is this notion of already who is here. They imagine those individuals eventually voting. They want to encourage the influx in. Part of that is because, of course, it's political. You've got the number of people who are in the House of Representatives are based on the population of the state. So the more people that move in, whether they be citizens or not, equates to maybe more members of the House of Representatives. So it has a number of fronts to it, but it appeals to the far left part of the base. And so it's about the politics, abandoning any kind of normal sensibility for the American people. But most of all, what I don't like the most, Tucker, is that they're lying to people about what's possible.
Lying. That's exactly right.
And what the end result will be. And that is what all of us should reject.
You're exactly right. Tammy Bruce, great to see you.